help that much, but whatever. Oops. Ugh. Come on here, quit doing that. There we go. Bruh, 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 just transcended into like a metastasis with that bro, dude. Just whoa, whoa. Alright, I'll do this for a while. Because I really need to upgrade his phone. That's, if anything, that's really the main reason. I gotta do stupid extra proclivities because I'm too much of a lazy fuck. Hey, master. I don't have any. So, nah, I think I'm good. Court master. Nah. In fact, I already did by just simply doing my job today. So. I mean, you know, it's like, alright, went to work, did my thing, and now I'm here. So, alright, can't emphasize enough, fuck Monday, so I'm done with them. I'm done with Mondays, because, like, holy shit, they drive me nuts. I mean, and, of course, we only had, like, the two new dudes, you know, be there today, instead, you know, like, of having maybe a few other people. So, it's like, yeah, I had one of them as a mid-shift and the other one as a closer, and it's not like they don't do a bad job. They actually do a pretty good job. But, it's like, you know, one of them's thrown to the wolves, another one was a transfer from, like, another store, and they worked there for about 2 years, give or take, so they already have some experience. So it's like, I have to essentially kind of, like, help one of them along, and I don't think the other dude totally got that a little bit about him, because, you know, like, they've... Yeah, because, like, when I was on lunch, you know, they were trying to, like, figure shit out a little bit, and apparently the dude who transferred was a little, like, butthurt that he didn't know everything, and it's like, well, he literally was thrown to the wolves, so, like, that's how they do things. Like, unfortunately, you know, you can't really do too much, you know, like, you know, when you don't know anything, you know, and obviously I'm trying to juggle everything else, because I know how to fry the chicken, this and that, and make sure that's kept up, and both of them know how to deal with customers, so that's... You know, about as best I could do in that situation, where I just help them out there. It's just like one of those things where it's like, bruh, like, I mean, why must I get stuck with situations like this? I don't, you know, it's not any of their faults, obviously. You know, like, honestly, I actually kind of liked one of the new dudes. Like, he noticed my Los Malblatos pin on my jacket and on my work shirt, you know, and... Like, he's like, dude, I know the basis of the band. And I was like, what? And he had his number and shit. I was like, fuck me, bro. And he was hitting him up on his lunch, and he was like, yeah, you know, the Dylan from the band and stuff, he was telling me, it's like, yeah, dude, like, if you got it, you know, if you want to see other shows with them and stuff, you got it in now, at this point. I'm just like, dude, fuck yeah. It's like, and I was telling him, it's like, dude, if he has, like, free time, if you ever want to swing by down here or something, bring Eric along or some shit, Eric being one of the, one of the main guys of Los Malblatos, the tenor sax player and the vocalist and shit. I was like, yo, if you want to bring some of them along and, you know, on a free day or some shit, come by, swing over my side of the woods, you know, fuck it, dude, that'd be dope. So, I mean, it's like, because to find out one of my coworkers, especially one of the newer ones, is into like a ska-core punk band that is not really well known, but also knows one of them and used to work with them and is really close buddies with them. I was just like, dude, what the fuck? We need to all like hang out or something. It's like, holy shit. So, I mean, the other dude's pretty cool too, but not really as talkative. But I mean, he's still a pretty cool dude too, from what I could tell. Like, he's definitely a weeb because he had a Weeaboo shirt on today at work after we all closed up. He took his work shirt off, and it was like, it looked like a Naruto shirt, but I couldn't quite tell. So, I mean, so far these two new dudes are actually pretty cool, at least, to me, but, yeah, so, it's just kind of shitty that, like, especially for one of them who's new, can't exactly just be like, like, they can't just teach him a little bit, be like, hey, here's someone that you can chaperone, and they can, like, actually help you a little bit. They just literally have kind of let him, like, hover and kind of watch and check things out a little bit, but not actually, like, communicate and teach him along, It's like, oh, yeah, I'm just doing this, making these, snap hacks or something, and, it's like, oh, okay, and it just kind of watches, like, but they don't actually, like, teach them specifically, and I'm just like, man, I might need to write a note or something. Because, if one of them's going to be cooking and the other one's going to probably be closing or doing a mid or something, then it's like, they need to know their shit. I mean, it's not like, I don't expect them to, like, the third day in, obviously, but, like, there needs to be something there in place to, like, help them day by day to make sure they get it a little bit by, bits by bits every day and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, don't expect anybody to get the entire department in one fucking day. That's obviously just unrealistic, so, little bits and pieces here and there, a little bit by bit, but holy shit. Found a list of conservative games. They put BioShock on, and BioShock is literally critique capitalism gone wild. Wait, so, I've heard about this. I've heard about this whole, like, list of conservative games that's been spread around. Is it not, like, some, like, meme list or something that somebody made and spread around? Because, honestly, if you look at, like, half of the games in there, they're pretty much retardedly bullshit. When it comes to the idea of it being, like, Christian / like, conservative, capitalistic, leaning and shit. Like, there might be some, like, Battlefield or Call of Duty. Well, and honestly, even then, like, Battlefield, not really as much. I feel like it has a little bit more of a sense of, like, yeah, war's fucked up sometimes. But Call of Duty, oh yeah, they are absolutely, like, Call of Duty especially is absolutely, like, pro-jingoistic, gun-ho, Americana militarism and shit. Like, I mean, so there's games that lean that way, for sure. But the thing is, they're, like, limited to things like Call of Duty, or, like, some other shit like that. And even then, that's not even really entirely, like, at least for me, entirely, like, a big deal, because, I don't know, I mean, like, Call of Duty could be fun sometimes, but it's not like something that I'm gonna, like, actively want to play endlessly over and over again because, oh, he's so awesome, or whatever. It's like, you play one, you play them all. Fallout New Vegas is oh yeah, that was, like, another one that was on there. It was, like, New Vegas, and I think, like, a few other of them, other games too, but yeah, like, I mean, Fallout New Vegas is on there. COD's only fun with friends. Yeah, if you get, like, a couple, what are you doing? Yeah, if you get, like, a couple of friends together and, like, have, like, a squad, like, on the team, for, like, a team deathmatch or search and destroy. Like, for me, you want to know what made COD fun for me, personally? I literally strictly only played hardcore search and destroy. Now, you will get the hardcore, like, fucking, like, clan dudes who will, like, all be in a clan, fucking, like, trying to get good type of shit. But, honestly, in a way, that makes it more challenging and it's more fun. Because, like, if you're just some literal random nobody McFuckerson, that's like rank 18 and you're about as good as some of these motherfuckers being like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, what are you doing slaying all of us? Like, because I got good. I don't know about y'all. Like, I mean, honestly, it was a challenge. Like, oh, dude, I remember some awesome matches of Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one of Hardcore Search and Destroy. Oh my god, I made motherfuckers salty, dude. I made some motherfuckers salt out to oblivion, bro. Like, just straight up. Like, it's... oh my god, dude. Like, I've had some fun with Search and Destroy. Just in general, but especially Hardcore Search and Destroy. Because, like I said, like... a lot of the more, like, dedicated, like, clan, professional, like, competition players and shit, they play stuff like that as a way to kind of, like, really harness in their skills and shit like that, so to speak, and And because of Search Destroy, you only get 1 life per round. So if you're dead, you're dead. You don't respawn. So it's like you kind of have to make your movements and make your decisions count in Search and Destroy. Because also it's not as simple as, take out all the players. You also have to destroy the objective. Which, if you take out the enemy team and there's no one left to defend the objectives, then you just kind of automatically win. But, it's either take out everybody or take out one of the objectives. So it's fun, like, in a way, because it adds an extra challenge, while some people literally just go team deathmatch mode. But I never did that shit. Able to literally throw enemies across the map and instantly kill. Oh, wait, which one? Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer was better than the game deserved to be. If I didn't want to jump for me on Discord, if I didn't delete Discord, he's still on Discord. I don't know what's going on with all that. So, is there an awkward situation? Something. All right. What's going on there? There. Yeah, I just didn't even bother to get fucking music going on. 10 minutes in, I'm slacking. I talked about this yesterday. I know that, but I mean, he's chilling here, so he's got opportunity. To say anything if he wants. So, situations and individuals. That is the most vaguest way to describe the situation of said individuals. Just to put that out there, but okay. I mean, I could probably take it like a guess or something, but I'm not gonna like try to throw assumptions or anything out. So. Is that wrong? I mean, come on, Vebs. There is something upside. Just lay down the brass tacks. Because honestly, it's better than just letting it fester. Whatever the fuck it is. We can air this shit down. Or not, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. So I got I mean, so many other random things, going on for my own personal life too. I'm just like, oh my, so I mean, it's hard to kind of keep up with even some of my other friends' shit with their drama, because I know my friend Logan's get to a point where he's done, with his girlfriend and shit, and so there's something up with that. I don't know what, so it's just like a random just shit, like that. And I know another buddy of mine's has had some shit going on, but I don't, it's a lot of it's just not really totally in my understanding on that one either. Just on even what the hell is up with all that shit. So, but it's whatever. It's like when you got a lot of random shit going on, it's kind of hard to kind of keep track with every little thing that's happening. Especially if you'd like to be the person who tries to be a mitigator or help out and try to find a best solution to problems and shit like that, or at least given whatever circumstances are. They're happy to ignore. I'm just saying. I mean, it's I'm just saying it's better to probably just hash it out more so than anything. So manosphere logic. Is that what's going on? I mean, I don't know what's going on with and shit. So I'm just sitting here doing so I know you don't really come on streams that often. So it's if you two have chats, I don't fucking know what happens with them. So. I know Ben was mentioned a few times, about it, but again, don't really, focus too much with it just because, like, I've been having other shit been happening. But, I mean, honestly, I mean, all in all, like, I just wonder, what would be, like, up with it. Because, because, like, Man of Steel Logic, to me, honestly, is, like, something that isn't exactly, like, well, logical in the first place. So, but I don't know. See what little things we might be able to look at for today, if there is anything. Doggo, what is up, Doggo? Doggo. Up. Are you seriously not wanting to come over here and get loves and scritches and all that? You haven't been over here on the lap in a minute, so I thought maybe you want to hang out over here, but I guess not, Doggo. I guess fucking not. Old jerk. Doggo's a jerk sometimes. Well, loves to scratch from Ignar. Well, you're not dogs, so that can't exactly work. But I don't know. There's just dead. Like, I think literally just because of like Israel being literally a shitbag fucking, like, horrible thing. Most of the goddamn fucking, like, news is just literally related around to it. It's like, oh my god, ugh. It's like, can't there, like, literally be, like, some other fucking, like, I know there has to be, like, other news going on. It's like, come on. It's like Monday. You'd think, like, the news cycle will refresh or something and have, like, other shit being discussed, but nope. Yeah, see you all some more time. Alright, man. Well, pop in, again, at some point soon. I mean, honestly. Sorry about the scans there, man. Well, I mean, I have no idea what happens. That, like, I honestly don't, like, evidently I need to, like, maybe chat with y'all one-on-one about it or something. I don't know. Again, I could maybe, I don't know, maybe be mitigator or something. Obviously privately, but Dusty deserves to be shot on by Paul so hard. Are you talking about that? Well, about Paul, like, venting on Dusty a little bit. I don't know. Like, I think Paul, plays it up a lot. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree, though. I mean, he was going pretty spicy. And I'm just like, man, what the fuck? Because, like, but, it's, I don't know. Like, Paul plays shit up a lot. Anyone want straight out there? Alright, well, I'll try to reach out at some point soon. Just want to be friends. Well, I think, Dusty's still pretty open about that. I think maybe, like, Paul just kind of got the wrong impression because he just, I don't know, like, he doesn't check Dusty out at all, and obviously Dusty doesn't check, like, they don't check each other out outside of, like, their past, history with each other, so I feel like, there's two things. Like, one, they haven't really realized they kind of both have moved on in a lot of ways. And two, I think Paul, again, plays shit up a lot. Like, and I think, whatever, shit he might have felt, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it's just like, just a way to play up the, act of like, boom. But I don't know, like, I'm not going to try to, like, hyper psychoanalyze, Paul or, Dustin on either way on it. Sure, apologist. Okay, like, look, I might be a, quote, apologist. And actually, it's called polisher, thank you very much. I'm a polisher. Yeah, so, get it right. But, you know, and the thing is, it's just like, I mean, like, you know, he does this with Vosh a lot, right? And when people have actually legit, like, like, held him, to the fire a little bit, and even donated, being like, yo, do you really actually hate Vosh? And he'd be like, look, kayfabe aside, I don't. I just disagree with some takes, and I like to play it up and shit like that. Like, I mean, so I think that's kind of, like, a little bit of the psyche there, as shit takes on Voosh. And I think, again, he plays a lot of it up, because he's said openly in the past that he does. So, like, because, I mean, he said that, like, yeah, with what I do disagree with Vosh, I like to play it up, but, I mean, realistically, we don't disagree on a lot. I just like to, hyper-focus on stuff that we do disagree with, because it's fun, poking his community. Like, he's said that before. He likes to prod all the Vosh simps, basically, and, like, the ones that, like, basically always, anywhere in any other, like, kind of lefty sphere community, if, like, anyone disagrees, they're like, look. I mean, because, those people are out there. I mean, like, Vosh community is fucking huge, so there's always going to be a little overlap, and there's always going to be a few of them that are just like, like, I mean, come on. They're out there. And, it's just like, yeah, like, I mean, he just likes to fucking poke at them, like, and I think that's where a lot of it really comes down to. I don't really think it's necessarily, like, a genuine personal animosity or whatever. Sure, does it go hard? Yeah. But, whatever. I think, again, some of that is just, being kind of played up. It's huge and full of suspect characters. I mean, I'm on there too, but I'm pretty inactive there. Like, I don't really do anything over on Vosh's community. I just observe. I just observe the chaos that goes on in there. I mean, it's kind of what I do for most Discords. I just kind of lurk. Just kind of hang out for the most part. I mean, the only one that I'm actually, like, kind of semi-active in is maybe, like, TJ's and Demon Mama's Discord, and even then, I'm not really active. Like, I'll share, like, maybe music, or maybe some little video or something here and there, or, that's about as far as it ever really goes. Speaking of, wasn't a Poltergeist stream a Patriots only one? No, that was, a public stream he did not too long ago when he came back from, Las Vegas. So, he did, like, a 5-hour fucking stream. Which also, I have a little bit of, like, issue with the person who clips the initial clip, because, like, 90% of that was literally in a span of 30 minutes. Like, I mean, so it's like, I mean, they literally clipped, like, the most spiciest of the spicy, of his whole thing, and it's like, I mean, whatever. Like, I mean, especially when you openly advertise, like, hey, why don't you clip that and send them, Like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, oh, God, I already know this is about to, like, be on Dusty's stream at some point. And, of course, it fucking was. I'm just like, I already knew this was gonna happen. Basically did the whole rant. Yeah, I didn't watch it because, I mean, I don't think I'm a member anymore. I think my, gifted membership, like, expired, so... Dusty explained himself. I'm sure he did. I mean, he kind of did a little bit, in the public stream, too. So, and it seems like, for the most part, like, at this point, I mean, honestly, Dusty wasn't really trying to implicate, like, Paul or DP from, like, platform as, like, a Nazi. He just said that he platformed him and helped him, get his, fame a little bit. And to gift membership, I'll gift you one. If you have a membership already and you go to where you'll, like, sign up for a membership normally, it'll say gift memberships instead. So you could gift them out. So after that. So, I mean, there's a way to do it. You just have to kind of go to the same menu as if you were going to set one up for yourself. And you don't fucking worry about it, dude. I was thinking about just saying fucking and doing it myself. I mean, it's only like, what, $3 a month or some shit? $2.99 a month? That's cheap. That's like... That's literally the can of coffee that I get. Like, I mean, it's a coffee a month. It's like, whatever. It's the Kyle Kalinske principle. It's like, hey, if you want to pitch, like, the equivalent of, like, a cup of joe, type of thing, you know what I mean? It's like, I'll buy you a cup of joe, boy. Have a little fun with that. Just gonna leave on Halloween. You know, weirdly enough, that might be a good time to do it. Like, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, everyone's already at their parties doing that and all, you know, like, everyone's already kind of in their spots. You know, so, you know, like, any traffic and shit like that should be pretty slow and all that, so. That actually wouldn't be a bad time at all. And I think it's a Tuesday, too. So, middle of the week. So, also, you know, fairly slow, too, because of that. Let's see what little things. Moscow server got fixed, and we got access to the first time on buyer program because of Step Douche. We're gonna attempt to screw us. Oh, so you got your shit resolved? Well, that's good. So his attempt to fucking, like, screw you all over didn't work. That's some good shit. It's still out the trailer. And y'all are going to New Mexico. And he still is not left that trailer and gotten his situation better for himself. Dude, he is just gonna be stuck there. Yes, pay rent. He's fucked. He's staying there. There ain't no way, dude. It's like Piers Morgan literally got dunked on. Like on the whole Israel-Palestine thing. Holy shit. It's like a 22-22 exact. Piers Morgan versus Mohammed Hijab on Palestine and Israel-Hamas war. How much you want to bet fucking, like, Piers Morgan literally gets bitch made? Like a bitch. What were you doing? We usually like to watch Piers Morgan when it comes to, like, someone who's at least just as, if not worse. So I don't know if I want to click on this. Because I feel like the dude is gonna it's just gonna be like a utter, like, you know, roasting of Piers Morgan on an open platter without any effort. Well, you know what? What am I saying? Why, of course I want to watch that. Who the fuck am I saying? I do want to watch Piers Morgan get literally made into a roast. Like, so, yeah, like, wait, what? It's not like, you know, he's circle jerking around with, like, some goofball or something, or even, like, challenging a goofball, like, goddamn Just Pearly Things, whatever her name is. Like, so, I mean, yeah, like, yeah, what the fuck am I saying? Dusty Soft for an older man. I mean, he isn't even really that old, either. He's, like, what, in his 40s? Like, he isn't really that old. He's, like, you know, a middle-aged dude. Dude, what the fuck is with you, dude? Oh, it's your, you know, I think I know what it is. You have an empty food bowl, and you're all just like, what the fuck, bruh? Why you no food me? Why you no food me, bruh? Yeah. Yep, that's what it was. Oh my good grief, here we go.
What, you had to eat and shit?
Yeah, he literally was like pawing at every little thing. And I'm not even done, dog! Oh my god, he's going for it.
Youkers. You
little bish.
You little bitch. You.
Yeah, there you go.
You gosh.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
What a goober.
Yeah.
Wow. With Hunter Biden? Who's Hunter Biden? I know of a Hunter Biden, but I don't know of a Hunter Biden. Kind of full screen is. Oh, wow. Wow, YouTube actually worked for once. It gave me the full screen right off the bat. Oh my god. Ugh. Look at this ugly fuck. Oh, this is gonna be fun fucking on Piers Morgan. It's been a while since I think we fucked on this little turd. At least it'll be on something pretty easy.
Well,
Last week I interviewed the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro on the crisis in Israel. His powerful emotional analysis made headlines around the world. 5 million people have watched that interview so far, a measure of the enormous emotional...
Wait, he actually talked with Ben Shapiro about this a week ago? Oh my god. That's probably even worse. That's probably way fucking worse, and I didn't need to know that information. In fact, fuck you. Let's just... Wait, is this how it is? Oh, okay. I honestly thought he was, like, gonna talk to him via Zoom call. I'm like, that's new. I don't really give a shit about that part. I just want to get right to the juice. Just to the juice. And we don't need your pleasantries, Pierce. We don't care. We want the juice of you being uncensored, and which is hilariously just the most stupidest name for a show. Uncensored. Piers Morgan's Uncensored. It's like, can we please put duct tape around his face?
I'm aware you've got a massive following. You've got nearly 1 million YouTube subscribers. You're an influential person, and you have a lot to say about this issue, obviously. So I thank you for coming in, but I'm not too cowardly to talk to you. I don't have a horse in this race. I think I've tried to straddle a divide of being fair-minded with all sides. I've had all voices on the show.
I commend you for that, actually, to be honest, for bringing me on, but do realise I did caveat that with unfair ground, so let's hope that this interview is conducted.
I intend to be completely fair.
Yeah, sure.
I promise you. Because
Uh-oh. I wonder why you had to really kind of bring that up. It's like, I came on here and commend you for letting me on here for the fact that we came here with the purpose of you being fair. It's not himself, or anything. Just like looking at him specifically, like you're going to be right, all right?
here is a real sense of what is going to happen. We can all look back at. We can all look back. Let me just. We can all look back.
Before that, Piers,
Yeah.
sorry, if you want to say fair grounds, you introduced me as a Palestinian controversial.
I actually corrected myself.
Right, so
I said pro-Palestinian. I meant to say pro-Palestinian.
why did the word controversial come into play?
I think you're controversial.
So are you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So is the ambassador. Why didn't you introduce her in that manner?
I'm happy to say that to many people, her views would be controversial.
So why didn't you introduce me as the Oxford graduate?
Do you want to be introduced as that?
Yes.
Okay, for an Oxford graduate.
Go ahead.
Okay. No problem.
Damn, dude, he's kind of like taking the reins of this. Like, nah, why'd you get, it's like, hey, I noticed that you called me controversial. Why you calling me controversial? Why you doing that? Dude, caught him already, dude. Oh my god, this is gonna be good. Oh my god, he's like making Piers a bitch on his own show. Like already. It's not even 2 minutes into it. Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be good.
You can be introduced as anything you like, frankly. It makes no difference to the debate. Let me ask you this. Where were you when you heard about what happened on October the 7th?
I was at home.
What was your reaction when you heard?
I was actually very sickened by it. And this is something I do want to put on the table because I think it's fair for people to know this. In our religion, we do not believe, okay, as a Muslim, I am a Muslim, and I do not believe in the killing of any man, woman, or children, non-combatants. That is not despite the religious teachings, that is because of the religious teachings. So, in terms of condemning Hamas, and just jumping straight into it, I
mean, I am gonna at least have to, do a little slight interjection and say that's because of your specific upbringing and how you believe it. Like, I mean, there's plenty of, Muslims that are extremists, like Hamas, for example, that believe otherwise. And they're wrong for it, but they do, though.
Not only Hamas, but any other entity, okay, wherein it's proven that this has been done, that the killing of combatants has been done, therein I condemn any party that does it. Any party that kills people or strikes at people where it's more probable than not that it will hit a civilian target, I condemn them. And that's why I condemn the IDF. Because when they strike, they know that it's more probably than not going to hit civilian targets. They know that the majority of civilians, or the majority of people that are going to be affected are civilians. We know that from the various operations that have been conducted.
Dude, I love this so far. Dude, he is like cutting right to it right off the bat. Like, he did the immediate condemnation of Hamas stuff and, brought that up, obviously, because it's pretty self-explanatory. And then he immediately turned it right to the IDF, being like, well, that's also why I condemned them, because fuck them too, because they have also been doing this unwarrantedly on their front, and in fact, on a way larger scale. So, You know, it's like if you're gonna like make this argument now, like when it comes to civilians and this and that, then we should be looking at the IDF as well. It's a two-way street. Essentially, it's just kind of what he's saying in short. This is a two-way street. If we're gonna condemn Hamas for doing shit like this, so why not the IDF? How come they're mysteriously just excluded from the whole equation? They're not.
We know that because now in Gaza you find that there is a blockade, as you know, for 17 years, but also there is...
Probably way longer than that.
...stopping them from electricity, water, which is a war crime under Geneva 4 of the Geneva Convention, Protocol 4 of the Geneva Convention. So this is something I'm surprised you didn't actually mention to the ambassador. But
I did mention it.
You didn't say it's a war crime.
Well, I think it's an arguable point whether it's a war crime.
Okay, let me ask you now then.
Are you kidding me? It's an arguable point that it could be a war crime? Fuck off, Pierce, you little wormball. Like, are you serious? Oh, I was arguing that it could potentially be like a war crime to some people. Like, no, it's unequivocally a war crime. Fuck you. Oh my god.
Thing is, at the moment, it's well.
Yeah, so like, at the moment, it might be changed war crime because like, oh my god, dude, he's like a whimpering fop. Like, within not even like 5 minutes into the shit, he's already been made into a simpering little fop. Like, by this guy. Like, the actual like chat energy of like Mohammed Hijab over here is just like impeccable right now. Like, goddamn, son. Like, I mean, he didn't even really have to say much. I mean, he was just like saying like the baseline like objective just truth of the situation, and it's just like it just like caused them to be a little like stuttering simper little fop bag.
Sure.
They are not breaching war crimes, right? It will be determined.
But if we could,
well, it will be determined whether that's the case.
No, sorry.
What is it?
That's incorrect.
Mohammed, let me just.
It will be determined. Like, no, it already is.
I think surely we can agree that what happened on October the 7th was a war crime. I mean, when people are taking grandmothers and executing them, kidnapping young children, when they're killing babies in their cribs, we can agree that's war crime, right?
Okay, babies.
Can we?
Surely, of course, 100%.
Right.
But babies in the crib. Sorry, what was the evidence for that?
You don't believe that happened?
Sorry, CNN, the White House, Sky News, which you work for, all say.
I don't work for Sky News.
Well, your thing.
I did work at CNN. I saw
Sure.
one reporter who retracted it because she wasn't sure about the source.
It's unconfirmed by the White House.
But then the Daily Telegraph and the Jerusalem Post and other sources then did publish pictures, which indisputably show babies have been killed.
I mean, I know at least to some extent some of the shit that is being claimed here, like there is a lot of weird little wishy-washy like shit going on about this, and like a lot of it's because like there is like various confirmation of reports about stuff like this, and then there's like unconfirmed reports about shit like this, and it's like it's so fucking like in a sense complicated on that specific element. It's like to me it's like getting mixed up in the weeds of that being like, oh well, it's like there are these people that were kidnapped. It's like, well, when shit like this happens, that does happen, and it's fucking horrible, and regardless who the fuck is doing it. But like, I mean, wouldn't it be good to at least ensure confirmation of these reports, even like when a fat load of them weren't? It's like, I mean, that's it's just like going right with the immediate story that just immediately pops up. It's like if there ain't no official confirmation to it, like then it's not 100% like a verifiable proof to it, like, because it was like that when there was claims about white phosphorus being used, but that was confirmed to be used by the Israeli Defense Force in Gaza after a while, once it was confirmed that there were not just multiple witnesses but also multiple victims of what were obvious attacks with white phosphorus, and there could only be one motherfucker on the block hitting them right now that would be using white phosphorus.
It showed one baby who's been charred, and that picture has been put up on Twitter and has been refuted by many people saying that it's actually AI.
That's completely untrue.
That is true. What's your source?
There's been a thorough investigation into the claim that was put up there by some rogue person on Twitter that it was AI. It has been completely disproven.
Okay, let me ask you a
picture,
question.
which was published on the Telegraph, is a genuine, legitimate picture.
What is your source?
Are you seriously arguing that babies weren't killed?
Not.
Wait, no, hold on, Pierce, hold on. He's saying, like, he's arguing for the source of your specific claim, not if, like, there was babies that died. Like, I mean, no one's really arguing against that. They're arguing. He's arguing about the source of this specific claim of this picture of a charred up baby. That, you know, I see. This is another thing. Like, I haven't heard about this report or this specific thing. Like, I haven't heard about that. And you know, so I don't know whether it is AI or not. But I mean, considering that I know AI and even Arma 3 fucking video game footage has been used to be like, oh, Hamas did this or Israel did that or you know or whatever the fuck. It's like there's a lot of weird wishy-washy misinformation and just outright fake bullshit that is out there. So I mean, there, you know, this like that's why I say there's like, you know, can't be confirmed reports about shit like this, but also unconfirmed reports depending on what you're looking at or what you're trying to find too. Like, because there's a lot of disinformation on this shit. I mean, it's honestly kind of fucking insane how much there is. Like to me, like, I don't think I've seen so much crazy disinformation even at the beginning of the Ukraine war, you know, when, you know, shit was popping off at its peak with that. Like, I mean, there was a lot of disinformation, don't get me wrong, but like, I mean, it seemed like insane with how much like crazy weird bullshit was being said, being claimed and this and that. And it's like, you know, and that's why I say it's like, you know, at least regardless of whatever specific details are going on, you know, what Hamas did obviously was fucked up. But, you know, this retaliation and what the IDF, you know, has been doing and is concurrently doing is just, like, fucking insane. And it's, like, beyond, like, inexcusable. Like, I mean, because obviously they can have, like, you know, a reaction to, you know, a militant, you know, group, you know, attacking them and shit without having to literally make every Palestinian a victim in this shit.
Yeah.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm saying, give me a source.
Yeah.
You know full well you've been fired from the Daily Mirror for fake images. So you know full well about the
I didn't accept they were faked.
Exactly, the UK government did.
Yeah, they did.
Aha.
Because
now,
the UK government, just to be clear,
Sure.
had waged, in my view, an illegal war in Iraq.
So you're allowed to go against the government,
Hang on.
and I'm not allowed to go against the Israeli government.
Of course you're allowed to.
So tell me now, what's the
You
source?
seem to be making a lot of presumptions about me, Mohammed.
Yes,
I
because you
was
had softball question.
I was
A lot of presumption. Hey, Piers, you're a major public figure, dude. Like, you're a commentator and shit. Like, yeah. Like, I mean, you've been around the block and been doing shit like this for quite a while. Of course, like, and like, what? Like, you think, you know, like your business tyings and all this other shit, what you've said in the past isn't just out there? Of course it is. Like, yeah, based off your past, you know, especially with who you are, being a public figure and a public person, like, yeah, you're probably gonna have people assume about you a little bit, and probably rightfully so in this case.
Ambassador of
No, they weren't. I put all the questions to the ambassador. I was editor of the Daily Mirror when we opposed the Iraq war on the grounds that I believed it was an illegal war.
Yeah.
I still believe that to this day. I think
Good.
it stained this country.
Fantastic.
I don't think you even knew that.
I did know that.
Right.
But that's not the point I was making. I was making the point that if you're allowed to go against a government in their classification of an image, then if you have pro-Palestinian activists who are saying, actually, we need to see a source, shouldn't they be entitled to
The
that?
Daily Telegraph published on page 3.
Extraordinary claims does require extraordinary evidence, which would be the source of that evidence. So,
Should they be entitled to that,
You're
yes or
talking
no?
about the Daily
they be
Telegraph
entitled to that, yes or
said
no?
they had independently verified
they be
the
in-
picture, Mohammed.
No, excuse me.
If you're-
okay, Piers, you keep saying that, but you're not saying specifically who. Like, that's the reason why he keeps pressuring that, by the way, you know, Piers Morgan. There's a reason why Mom is doing that, because you aren't answering the question. You're not directly. You're weaseling around it every fucking time.
Their
Primary source
verification is
material.
wrong.
No, excuse me. Primary source in academia. I know you've done a journalism degree, which is, frankly, is not relevant to what we're talking about here anyway.
Probably is to journalism, yeah.
No, it's not to this conflict. But we academics require primary source evidence in order to make it.
The Daily Telegraph
What's the primary
said.
source evidence?
The Daily Telegraph said they verified the picture.
That's a second.
So he keeps saying that, but like, who specifically and who did they verify that with? Like, you can't just say a paper did that. Like, because obviously they had to have collaborated that with somebody, you know, with who they found that information from. Like, I mean,
You may say
That's a secondary source.
You may say
That's a secondary source.
Well, you may say you don't think it's genuine. I don't agree with you. But the wider point.
That was my point.
But
I
the
said
wider
I want
point,
a source. I just want to
Mohammed,
see the
you know what we're
evidence.
arguing about here. You're not contesting that babies were killed.
No, I'm saying I want to see the evidence.
So why are you picking on the semantics of the Rastin 1 picture,
it's not.
which has been verified by British journalists? Why are you...
Pierce, you're the one who's kind of doing that. You're the one who kept, like, flaming it up, being like, hey, why are you in favor of this? It's like, there's a reason why at the very beginning I was like, I came here to, like, with you, hopefully being fair, and he hasn't.
on that?
British journalists are
some
not an
example of
authority.
some of this wasn't as bad as it seemed.
British journalists are not an academic authority. You know that full well. You've been fired from Daily Mirror for that very purpose. What I'm saying to you is this: putting this issue to the side, I think you're trying
I love it,
to
keeps rubbing that in.
red herring to move away from the
What
bigger
red
issue.
herring?
This is a red herring because already 1,023 children have been killed in Gaza. That's why. And you didn't ask the ambassador that question.
I
did you?
literally-
And honestly, it's probably more. That's just the official count.
Asked the ambassador.
No,
I said 3,000 people have already been killed in a week in
Sure,
Gaza.
but you didn't ask her. whether
did you even listen to my interview with the
I did listen.
ambassador?
I did listen, but excuse me.
Well, don't put words in my
No,
mouth
hold on.
or say I didn't ask a question.
Hold on, I'm asking you a question. You condemned the killing of those children by the IDF.
I tell you what I condemn.
Yes or
Not answering it. It's just like, you know what? Let me just tell you what I condemn. I say what? It's like, I mean, yeah, like, since we're on this whole, like, children being killed thing, it's a pretty simple question to answer. Being like, well, since we're on this whole topic, do you condemn the IDF doing that? Since they've done that as well. And it's like, well, you know what? Let me just tell you what I condemn instead. It's like, what?
I'm going to answer your question honestly and truthfully.
Sure.
And because I've tweeted about this, right?
Oh, okay.
I think
Oh, wow,
that
tweet.
what happened
So
on
gracious.
October the 7th was one of the worst atrocities I have ever had to read about or watch on
It happens
video.
every day in Palestine.
No.
So why do you care about that?
It
so
actually
much?
doesn't. It doesn't.
It does,
actually.
actually,
No.
yes.
No. The Israeli forces.
I've got the stats for that. if you
Israeli forces do not go.
Cast-led,
Wait a minute,
protective
Mohammed.
edge. Go and check it out.
Mohammed. Israeli forces.
want. Cast-led, protective edge.
Israeli forces don't go into Gaza on one day and grab grandmothers and kill
Hey.
babies in
Wait,
their
excuse
beds.
me. Okay.
And
No, hold on. Hey.
rape and abuse
So,
women.
rape is only...
Okay, so now we're just doing a very hyper-specific, claim here, which obviously is just silly. Like, yeah, no shit. Shut up. Like, no shit, like, is fucking, the IDF literally gonna go in and, like, brutalize or, like, do pillage rape shit. They've done a siege. I mean, they gone that medieval about it. But, like, I don't think they're going that fucking route with it. And also, like, I know there has been at least a couple of, confirmed report cases, but I've also heard various different cases of, like, other, like, bands of, like, these Hamas types would go in other villages where they would just, like, literally hang out and eat some food and leave. Like, so... And those are confirmed reports, too. So it's like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, what the... why hyper-focus on the most extreme cases, which obviously are fucked, but it's like, I mean, when there's a lot of, like, chaos, especially in a situation like this, like, wouldn't it bear out, especially in the best interest of just, like, finding out the objective truth about things to figure out, like, all of it and realize that maybe there are at least some cases where, shit isn't as insane, and there are, instances where, yeah, it's fucking insane and, like, crazy barbaric and shit, regardless of who the fuck is doing it. I mean, it's like, it seems pretty fair ask, I guess, but, the Hitler particles are literally just, like, on blast in every way and in all ways, and just, like, and it had been on full blast for about a week, and they're not stopping, and it's like, oh god, everyone's just, like, gotten completely fucking unhinged about this shit. It's ridiculous.
It's been multiple reports in
no,
multiple
no.
mainstream
Why who?
media publications. But you're going to sit here and deny everything,
No,
right?
I'm not denying anything.
You are.
No, I accept that some civilians have been killed. I do accept this. And I already said...
You don't believe any of the reports that women were raped?
No, I didn't say that. I said that it's still to
Well,
be
do you
verified.
think they were raped?
No, I don't know. It's like the Russell Brand thing. You said we don't know any evidence. So why do you apply two different
not.
standards?
I'm saying it's been reported.
When it's Israel, we know they're raped. When it's Russell Brand, you don't know because you're
No,
friend.
it's been reported by legitimate news
When it's
sources.
Israel,
which
you
I
know they're
believe-
raped. But when
which
it's
I
Russell
believe
Brand, you don't
verified
know.
them.
When it's Russell Brand, you don't know if they're raped.
Comparison between-
Hey, Piers, there's the reason why he's doing the comparison thing. He's showing your contradiction and your hypocrisy. Like, you're being hypocritical on this, being like, oh, we could just have face value believe, you know, like this story, even though, like, you know, at least in this case, you know, rapes and shit, and, you know, which I know, I've seen clips of you, you know, being very posh about, too, being like, oh, Russell Brand, oh, well, we need to just, you know, hear all the evidence and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's a reason why he's making that comparison, because, yeah, you are a fucking hypocrite on this there, buddy.
Brandon, what's happening?
It's the same thing. It's a rape allegation. Why are you stuttering?
I'm not stuttering.
Yeah, you are. You've been...
You are stuttering. You don't have anything
You're
to say.
contesting every single thing that I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
the
saying
point of
to
an
you,
argument.
Because they're pretty extraordinary, and he's just saying, what's the fucking sources? Like, that's not really, like, utterly dismissing it. He just wants fucking sources about it. Be like, hey, like, where did you, you know, hear this? Because, I mean, there's been various different, you know, like, reports of, you know, and shit that might, you know, not confirm what you've said. In fact, maybe sometimes might be a little bit the opposite.
1,300 people
Yeah,
were brutally
2,000 people have been killed on the other side.
abused.
2,000 people have been killed on the
I
other
said
side.
that to the ambassador.
Okay, but do you condemn that? Yes or no?
I don't think.
So you refuse to condemn?
No.
You do refuse to
Why are you
condemn?
putting words in my mouth?
Because you're not condemning it, are you?
What do you want me to?
I mean, this is fucking great. Oh my god, I knew clicking this would be fun. I knew this was gonna be a little fun, though. Just like watch Pierce just get spirit roasted, because he kind of is. I mean, I will admit, he is not really letting him get too much of a word in edgewise. Like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, I would say to him, it's like, you know, to Mob, it's like, give it a little bit of breathing room. I want him to just, like, dig his own grave himself, you know? It's like, I mean, I know he's obviously done his research on, the, you know, on Pierce and stuff, and is using every fucking point to just, like, cause him to stutter and all this other shit and flub his words, but it's like, you gotta let him breathe a little bit. You gotta make him, like, you know, at least, you know, try to dig his own grave a little more, you know, outside of just trying to, like, you know, just, yeah, like, get scalping in a sense. But though, in a way, it's, I'm not necessarily complaining, I'm just saying that it would be a little more funnier just to hear him try to, like, you know, justify everything.
Okay, excellent. What do I want you to condemn?
Yes.
I want you to condemn the fact that the IDF, knowing that it's more probable than not, pressing buttons from the sky, killing innocent civilians,
Yep.
1,000 of them children, that is a war crime and that is not acceptable morally. Just like
I
you condemn
believe-
the other one.
Like, I also heard earlier today, like, apparently, like, a part of, like, you know, one of their, corridors, you know, of, like, hey, yo, y'all gotta leave, or else, you know, you might be seen as combatant, you know, and you have to, like, go into the, like south of, like, the YD Gaza, or whatever the fuck, which is, like, southwest-ish of Gaza. It's, like, this dry riverbed type of thing, and there's, like, a bunch of small roads and, like, little bridges and shit. And, of course, when a bunch of Palestinians were trying to cross there, well, yeah, the IAF decided to be like, yeah, let's bomb it. And, yeah, I decided to just, like, bomb the shit out of it. And it's, while there was a bunch of people there, and I think, like, there's, like, a confirmed, like, 50 dead over it, and so it's, like, yeah, I mean, there's literally, like, just, like, blatant war crimes that the IDF and the IAF just overall is, like, doing and shit, and that doesn't really seem to get talked about as much. And it's like, again, it's like, yeah, like, whatever attacks Hamas does is fucking egregious and shit, but considering the retaliation of what's going on, it's like, it's getting to be fucking comparable, because to me, it really isn't. It never really was in the first place, but, I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like, even the most, like, fenced righty fucks on this should be able to understand, it's like, yeah, it's starting to not be comparable.
Given the scale of what Hamas did on October the 7th,
Go ahead,
Israel is entitled to
kill
defend-
children.
No, that's not what I said.
Go ahead.
They're entitled to defend themselves with force.
Okay,
Then
excellent.
the question becomes, Mohammed, there's an interesting debate.
Sure.
If, as it seems to me, you believe too,
Go on.
Hamas are not a force for good. Do you believe that?
Well, I think that anybody who kills children and those elements of Hamas who are killing children.
Right, so we can agree. So we agree. So
Go
my
ahead,
point
finish
is,
your point.
if Israel's purpose is to rid the world of Hamas after the atrocity of October the 7th,
Sure.
how do they do that, given that Hamas embeds itself in civilian areas in the way that it does? Everyone knows that in Gaza.
Okay.
How do they do that
Excellent.
in this surgically clean way that you seem to think they should be doing?
Okay, can I say?
Well, first of all, maybe, like, you know, not let attack that they knew about that was going to happen just randomly happen to use as a justification to do what they're doing. Maybe that for one, so when they did their attack, they could easily repel it, and it would just be those Hamas combatants that would be fucked up instead. That would probably be one. And for two, like, I'm sure there's a thing called espionage that you could do. You know, sometimes it takes time, but you could probably figure out, you know, who are like, you know, some of the upper echelon of like Hamas or whatever, and then like use that as a way to maybe see who, you know, might be like, you know, logistics or whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, I mean, it's like, what, you don't think like, you know, like the Messiah can't do like espionage, because of course they could. It's like, come on, Zooks, what is you butt? So yes, I continue the actions like it shouldn't. At the same time, all deaths are not created equal. Well, yeah, sure.
Not kill civilians.
Beautiful. Can I
don't like any civilian death.
Do you mind if I answer
I
the question?
don't endorse any civilian death.
Well, no,
Do
you
I
don't condemn it, though.
Hang on.
Yeah.
No, and here's why. Because I support Israel's right to defend itself.
Beautiful.
So
Now,
must prevent Palestinians from leaving. I'm not sure. I know Egypt is, you know, refusing to let them, like leave into Egypt and shit. You know, so I mean, I know there's like a lot of various, you know, factors where, yeah, like, you know, people just aren't allowed to like leave and shit. Yeah, so. Anyways. So, I mean, with that, I'm not too sure. I've heard like a murmur about it, but I don't know if those are even really confirmed or not.
no, one more point. So then
Go
you can
ahead.
reply.
Sure.
But the question then becomes, what is proportionate?
Okay.
What is a proportionate response?
Okay.
I don't have the answer.
Excellent.
Because I don't know what a proportionate response to 1,300 murders is. When 260 young people at a music festival, most of them peace-loving people enjoying themselves at a festival,
All of them
when they get slaughtered by people
there any
paragliding
evidence all of them
in
were
with
killed?
machine guns, I don't know what the proportionate response
Piers,
is.
let me respond to
So can you tell me?
You spoke for about 2 minutes. You didn't do that with the ambassador. By the way, I'm just showing you're saying fair, but you're not being fair.
I've said
okay,
what I said.
so let me paint a picture.
I will be fair.
Sure.
I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say.
All right, excellent. You're,
Like I says, I will be fair. It's like implying that, you know, if he says something wrong, you won't.
dissent. We know that there was an IRA
Yes.
in Belfast and so on. Okay, so let me ask you a question now. If there was IRA in Belfast and they were occupying council properties and so on, and then we have a plane of RAF going to destroy that council property, destroy all of Belfast, flatten it, as one representative said, Gottlieb. The IDF said that, one of the IDF members said that we will flatten it completely. That's what we want to do. We don't care about accuracy, he said. We care about damage. That's what he said. You didn't question her about that. But anyway, if the RAF were to then go into Belfast and flatten, as the IDF and these guys want to do, if they want to flatten Belfast with all the white people, I'm going to use the term white, all the white people, council estates living in there, with the excuse that we're doing it because it's proportionate defense to the terrorists. What would you say about that?
Here's what I would say to you.
Is that acceptable or unacceptable?
Here's what I would say to you.
Yeah.
The IRA committed a series of atrocities over numerous decades.
Hence why he's using the example, by the way. I mean, no shit, Pierce.
Targeted, in their eyes, military and political targets. They usually gave some form of warning, not always.
Okay.
They
They were terrorists.
No, they were terrorists.
Sure.
They never, ever went out one day and committed the barbaric slaughter of 1,300...
Irrelevant.
No.
If they did.
I'm sorry, it's
If
not
they did.
irrelevant.
If they did.
No, Mohammed.
If they did.
Here's why it's not irrelevant.
Okay, hey, Pierce, he said this is a hypothetical. Like, I mean, this is the whole point of a hypothetical is like, yeah, if. Like, I mean, this is all about if. That's the point of a hypothetical, Pierce. Like, I mean, come on.
They never did.
But if they did,
never
would you
did.
accept
By the
that
way,
Pierre, like, oh my God, it's not that. Obviously, they haven't done that, but the whole idea is the hypothetical of it. Oh my God. Like, Pierce, quit being so stupid.
By the way, there were outrages committed by
My question is,
by
if-
the loyalist paramilitaries too.
My question is,
Here's my
if
point.
they did,
never
would you think it's acceptable
They
or
never
not?
came close to committing an outrage
If
on that
they-
scale.
If
right?
they did, is it acceptable
They
to
never
flatten
went
Belfast?
in and kidnapped grandmothers or killed babies
If they
in
did,
cribs.
is it acceptable or not?
They believe they were fighting for better or worse, and I believe for worse,
Sure,
and that's
sure.
why I'm glad peace is found.
But I'm
They
asking
believe
if-
they were
you're not
fighting
answering my question.
political and military
I'm
targets.
trying to bring it closer to home to
You're
you.
trying to compare apples and oranges.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It's you that's...
Not really. I mean, it's like, the thing is, apples and oranges are both fruits. And if Hamas and the IRA are both considered terrorist organizations, then by this logic, they would be fruits, right? Maybe there are different fruits in this logic because, yeah, they've done different things and whatever the fuck. But there's still, like, I mean, come on, Pierce. Like, I mean, even with that logic you just try to throw out there to try to, like, say it's not equivocal, yeah, they are still. Because, I mean, there's still commonality between those two fucking things. I mean, and that's, oh my god, that's, like, the whole point of what he's trying to fucking say. He's trying to bring it closer to home, you know, when it comes to that analogy, because, like, being the Brit Bonger fuck that Piers Morgan is, he's pretty well aware, and considering his age, obviously, he's probably been alive when, you know, the IRA was very well active. So he knows about that shit. Like, yeah, so something like that probably does hit, you know, fairly close to home, and that's kind of the whole point, is to be like, hey, you know, if, like, you know, like, put yourself in, you know, that situation where it's like, you know, like, where it's saying, hey, you know, would you, you know, say the same thing in this circumstance, you know, versus here? And obviously you're not. Like, because the whole idea is to say, like, you know, is your stance going to be different just because of, like, you know, maybe certain specifics, like, you know, oh, Hamas exists, you know, so thus, you know, that overrides everything else? Like, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, that's what he's narrowing down with, and kind of proved.
The only comparison that I would say that we saw from October the 7th and what Hamas did is with ISIS.
Excuse me.
It's the only comparison.
Do you mind if I...
that
Let
bears
me ask you a
witness.
question. A Palestinian...
And ISIS were taken
Please
out,
let me
by the way,
finish.
with
You keep interrupting
planes.
me.
No, here's what...
You didn't do this with the ambassador.
I'm going to finish
You did this
the
with Ben
point.
Shapiro, which you gave the show to him.
No, hang on. I'm giving you plenty of time.
No, you're not.
I'm giving you plenty. You asked about the analogy of a plane flying over,
Yeah,
targeting...
but you didn't answer my question.
But that did happen, Mohammed, with ISIS.
Would you accept
Get rid of-
Belfast to be...
Which is another terrorist group, which is
But
probably
wait
like a pair in this case. I mean, so what? Like, okay, you named it as another group. Like, hey, let's name another one. Boko Haram. There you go. Like, I mean, what do you want?
Not. Yes or
Wait
no?
a minute. It never happened. So the like for like isn't...
No, it's a
relevant.
hypothesis. It's
No,
hypothetical.
It's not. I don't do hypotheticals.
You don't do hypotheticals?
No, let's do...
Says the one who's tried to push a couple of various different hypotheticals already. Like, what?
reality.
Okay, let's do it.
No, I don't like to do hypotheticals unless they're my hypotheticals. I like to, you know, say every now and then. Yeah, you know, like, because I like to be in reality if I don't like your hypotheticals.
Alan, let me finish. Then you can answer.
You don't want to ask a question.
No, here's the reality.
British public can see this.
Here's the reality,
Yeah.
right? Let's
British
just...
public can see this.
Yeah, they can see it.
Yeah, go on.
They listen to the debate, right? For what it's worth, I think it's a good debate to have. Right? These are questions many people on the pro-Palestinian side are having. I get it, right? But you're trying to compare
you know?
what happened on October the 7th with the IRA.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I used a
comparing.
hypothetical
Wait a minute, Mum.
question.
I'm comparing it to ISIS. And the way that
compared
the
to
world
ISIS.
in the end dealt with ISIS actually was to use airstrikes. And many civilians were killed.
There's a huge difference
Many innocent
between the two.
people.
And it's another problem there, Pierce. It's like, oh yeah, but many civilians killed, but ICE taken out though, so what's the problem? It's like, I don't know, there were still civilians killed. You could have done that a little bit better. And by the way, it wasn't just airstrikes that took out fucking ISIS. Like, there's like whole fucking operations and campaigns built around doing that shit. Like, so give me a break. Like, it wasn't just airstrikes. I mean, come on. Like, there was ground operation. There was, like, full-on fucking, like, battles that, like, took up, you know, and, like, you know, that happened from, like, you know, all sorts of different factions, you know, and, like, you know, coalition forces, basically, you know, and, you know, from, like, the YPG, you know, with Rojava, like, you know, the Kurds, and, like, dude, there was, like, all sorts of motherfuckers, you know, like, I mean, so, it, like, and, hey, guess what? Not all of them had a fucking jet. It's like, hey, yo, watch your jet. Like, hey, because guess what? Some of them didn't. Some of them didn't have any of that shit. They had, like, AKs and fucking, like, little mortars and some grenades and shit, and, like, an RPG maybe lying around. Like, that's what most of them had. And that's what took ISIS out predominantly. Like, was a lot of those fucking battles.
You're not,
They're not.
You don't understand it because you have no idea of the religious...
What's the difference between what happened on October the 7th and ISIS?
The difference between the Palestinian resistance is the following, okay? Any kind of thing which has Palestinian resistance attached to it, and ISIS, which is a brand of tekfirism, okay, is that ISIS is just one of many brands of tekfirism, which you don't know what it is, which is a kind of excommunication type heresiological Islamic sect, okay? So if there's
It's nihilistic mass murder. It's all they...
I mean, okay, all right. So he knows a little bit more about, like, I guess, like, sectarian elements about, like, you know, Islam shit. A little bit, I guess, being a Muslim himself. But he's basically talking about, like, Salafists, Wahhabists, like the extremist fundamentalist type. So it sounds like he's kind of talking like the equivalent of, like, a Christian cult in the U.S. or some shit. You know, it's like kind of, I guess, their variation of that from what it sounds like. I couldn't quite exactly catch what he said, but I mean that's kind of what it sounds like. Basically, like the equivalent of like a cult, you know, like which makes sense. I mean, these fucking groups do in a lot of ways operate like that. So I mean, you know, like that, I'd say that bears out. I mean, especially when it comes to like the various extreme sectarian elements of really any religion. They tend to be a lot more cult-like in comparison to just kind of being, you know, kind of free love, you know, love thy neighbor type, you know, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So there's, you know, so they tend to be a lot more isolative and, you know, like try to, you know, keep people, you know, insulated in their niche group specifically, and having people believe that specific thing and only deeming people that want to believe that type of shit as like the good ones, and everyone as like, you know, the bad fucking, you know, like evil doers or whatever the fuck, you know, like it all kind of stems from that, you know. So there definitely is like a lot of just generalized cult behavior in that, and you know, so it seems like that's kind of what it is.
Listen,
Which makes sense. Like I said, like a lot of these like hardcore like Wahhabi / Salafist style like, you know, sects of Islam are essentially like the equivalent of like, you know, hardcore evangelical like MAGA cult or some shit.
but I'm saying something else.
You agree with me, don't you?
I do, but of course I do, but you're not understanding what I'm saying, so I'm trying to break it down.
I am understanding what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that anything
So if you're giving out like, what are you saying there, bro? I started saying in the head, I don't know what you're saying. Like, I don't think you understand what he's talking about there, buddy. Mavir Job, you might want to explain it in more simpler terms. Just say they're like Islamic cults or something. You might want to explain it in dumb words for our buddy Pierce here.
Palestinian, by the way.
Sure, please, but
over the many years, if you bothered to check what I said about it, I've always tried to shine a light on the plight of the Palestinians.
Allow me to speak, please, because you're just talking over me. The difference between the two are the following, right? Even if we assume that the killing of combatants in most definitions of terrorism is something which brings someone to be a terrorist, okay? I would say that if that is the case, then the state of Israel breaks that threshold and meets that condition. Because why is Israel not a state terrorist? If their highest officials are admitting that we want damage and not accuracy. Answer me this question. Why is the state of Israel, who are illegally occupying Gaza and the West Bank according to international law, and even the ICJ said that, okay, which is, as you know, an organ of the UN, all right? So this is international law. They're occupying, they're seizing, they're bombarding, they're indiscriminately killing, and they're blocking the supply lines. They're using white phosphorus. They're doing what you call mowing the grass, which is every few years, they're killing the Palestinian people.
Let me
I want to understand what differentiates an Israeli in the sky pressing a button, killing the civilians, from somebody in any terrorist organization shooting the people. What differentiates it?
Israel will say it has a right to defend itself.
So will the terrorists? Right? That's what Osama bin Laden said.
And they will.
That's exactly Osama bin Laden's argument.
No, it's not though.
Yes, Hamas, it is. I read his fatwas.
Hamas aren't defending themselves. Bin Laden wasn't defending themselves.
Define defense.
Bin Laden was trying to kill as many of the enemy as possible.
Let me ask you a question. How could it be that an occupier is defending itself in the first place? The notion that Israel is defending itself is as absurd as the notion that the rapist is defending itself from the victim. Because Israel is the occupier.
You haven't asked me.
Hold on. Excuse me, let me finish.
I mean, considering that they are like, you know, occupying even like the Golan Heights, which is in Syria, and like all these other regions. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are.
An occupier by international law definition means that they are already in an offensive posture. If they're in an offensive posture, if someone brings you to Piers Morgan, grabs you by the thing, throws you into your bathroom, you're in your bathroom, you're screaming and they're eating food, having a good time. One day you come out of your bathroom, you try and fight one of them, who's defending who from who?
Mohammed,
how can you self-defend when you're occupying? Answer me this question.
Let me speak now.
No, but answer the question.
Let me speak.
Answer the question first.
Fine, I'm going to speak. Let me answer.
I mean, like, I know we already kind of emphasized from the beginning of it, like, about a combination of, like, Hamas attack and stuff, but, like, I mean, we'll say, like, obviously, I mean, you know, you probably, you know, I would kind of add to, I guess, that specific, you know, you might have, like, a roommate who, like, you know, is, like, you know, helps try to, like, you know, in your situation, you know, that is in, you know, the room with you, but they have, like, a knife and end up, like, brutally just like stabbing, you know, like one of them out of nowhere, you know, like as they're trying to like defend each other or defend themselves while you're just trying to like simply like get him out of the house or whatever the fuck. Like, I mean, like there could be like a extra analogy where it's like, or you know, like a, you know, I guess like with the gun situation where it's like, you know, when they just start blopping everybody.
Israel's made a number of bad choices.
That's not answering my question.
Wait, I'm telling you what I think.
You don't answer my question.
Telling you what I think.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay? I don't think Israel's been perfect at all, right?
You should have had the moral high ground.
I think a lot of the decisions Israel's taken are wrong.
You know, like, I think there are a lot of decisions and, you know, stuff like that just weren't cool, bro. It wasn't cool. It's like, come on, man. I understand what you're doing, but some of your decisions weren't cool, man. You could have done better about that. Give me a break, Pierce.
Benjamin Netanyahu, by the way, his attempts to usurp the power of the Supreme Court this year in Israel has been a complete disaster.
Do you condemn them from killing civilians or not?
I do not. I will defend them this week.
Yes or no?
Wait.
Yes or no?
I will defend them this week in defending themselves against one of the worst terror attacks ever.
So you can kill civilians for that?
You can target Hamas.
Can you target? No, hold on.
And if Hamas,
not answering the question again, it's like, oh, well, you could target this, which, you know, they tend to, you know, like a lot of these deaths are not from Hamas, but specifically, like, you know, really just like, you know, like with a lot of civilians, you know, tend to be in the role. Rape beheading. No, what he's saying is that, like, I mean, how is it much different from, like, you know, someone maybe, like, picking up an AK, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, a mass modernized force that, you know, can have jets and basically, you know, like, drop, you know, like, missile strikes and shit, or bomb strikes. I mean, it's like, because, you know, the one that has, like, the mass air force and Iron Dome and all that other shit versus, like, you know, rockets, Rusty AKs, shit like that. I mean, it's a power dynamic thing.
The controlling.
I mean, really, if anything, he's just, you know, arguing about, you know, the power dynamic of it all.
Ruling body in Gaza, hide amongst the public.
This is a false
but members of the public will die.
You're talking about fallacies. This is called the Motte and Bailey fallacy, which is that you're trying to defend one controversial idea by using another. It's Motte and Bailey fallacy. You can check it up in your own time. The point is this. I'm not asking you whether Israel has a right to defend itself. We've already said of the logical and legal impossibility. The logical and legal impossibility of an occupying power, according to international law, of actually defending itself because it's already... Let me finish. It's already in an offensive posture. Now, I'm saying this. If it is the case, you're just saying it's defending itself against Hamas. Is the only way to defend itself against Hamas by dropping bombs in the most densely populated area, one of the most densely populated areas in the world? Is that the only way? It's a false dichotomy, creating a false dichotomy. They could do surgery, they can do insurrection. They can go in and they can target
We're going to take
Hamas.
a short break. I'm going to keep you here. I want to finish this. I want to give you the time. I think it's an important debate, an important conversation.
Sure. But you have to answer my questions.
I will. Yeah, but actually you have to answer mine. It's my show, actually.
I can answer
for the record, you can ask me as many questions as you want, but I'll tell you what I think.
I've answered all your questions.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and we're going to finish with a few more minutes, okay?
Oh my god, wow. Is that really all, honestly? I guess... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, shit. Never mind. Oh, there's a little more.
Anything. Doesn't matter what I say. One side, if I'm even remotely sympathetic to them, the other side, poor abuse and vice versa and so on. Let's try and cut through it all and get to what happens here. How do we find peace in the Middle East? I've been covering Israel-Palestine since I've been a journalist, 3 decades. And it seems to me we're as far away now as we've ever been. How do you think we get to a place?
You'll be surprised. Look, even Hamas, some 4 or 5 years ago, they even agreed to the 1967 lines, the borders. And what you have to understand that this cannot be scapegoated on Hamas, because before Hamas's existence, this was still going on. This was going on before Israel's existence.
But do you believe in a two-state solution?
No, I believe in... Look, even Hamas was proposing a two-state solution.
But do you believe in it?
Look, there's advantages and disadvantages. This is a different... I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one. I'll be honest.
Could you imagine 2 states next to each other living in peace? Palestine, Israel.
Look, it's a possibility. I mean, as I say, even Hamas was saying that that's a possibility. I mean, this was 4 years ago. But what I want to bring to your attention is that nothing can happen if the international body or the UN becomes a toothless agency. In 2018 to 19, when actually 221 people were killed on a peaceful protest in Gaza. It was called the Great March of Gaza. 220 people died. Hamas didn't shoot a bullet. No rocket was launched, yeah? So 220 people died, and this is even mentioned by the UN and these kind of agencies. They tried to bring it up, the Palestinian Authority, they tried to bring this up to what we call the ICJ, which is part of the UN, okay? What happened is the Donald Trump administration, they threatened to freeze the assets of the ICJ, which tells you the following. What are the Palestinian people to do? Because the fact of the matter is, if they try and bring it up...
Let me ask you...
let me finish the point.
I'm pretty sure also during Trump's administration, like, Israel, like, basically like moved their entire capital to Jerusalem because like Trump kind of let them have the green light for it.
If they try and bring it
We're running out of time, that's why I'm jumping.
But if they try and bring it up to international law, it's thwarted.
I do think
if they're trying to boycott,
international law matters.
Sure.
I just don't believe that any
But it matters from if Israel breaks it.
peace can be achieved with Hamas in charge. Do you?
Before Hamas...
Now, after what happened last weekend.
Forget about last weekend. Last weekend is...
Can't forget about last weekend.
No, it's not. Before last weekend, before Hamas in 1987, this was still going on.
But not on this scale. And
worse.
No, it wasn't as bad as this.
What are you talking about?
What happened on
I mean, there was various different wars and shit that were going on. Like, I mean, this conflict's been, like in ebbs and flows for quite a long time here. I mean, to just simply say that, like, what happened, the other week and shit was, like, literally the absolute, like, in comparison to, like, every single thing in the sense, like, pretty much, like, like, 1948 when, I mean, it's been a thing that's been a problem for quite a long time. And, even, like Mom said, even before Israel was even a thing.
Single worst assault on a populace since 9/11. It was.
Yom Kippur War was 2,600 people died, by the way. 1973. That's false.
In one day?
In one day, I don't know, about 600 people died in one day.
Mohammed, I've got to leave it there. We've run out of time. I gave you more time than I planned to. I hope you appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming in. Thanks.
And that was it. I kind of wish there was a little more to it, though. I mean, watching him kind of, like, make kind of Pierce squirm around a little bit was kind of funny. So that's all I was there, really wanting to see. I just wanted to see him squirm around a lot. Because, I mean, honestly, it's just like, I mean, like, he was just trying to, like, use, like, sensationalism for the most part and shit, while the other was, at the very least, it's like, I mean, because evidently he seems to, at the very least, just generally a lot more informed about it, and there's, at least, very certain little specifics about, like, the niche, like, nuances, specifics that even I wasn't 100% aware about, like, when it comes to, like, different claims and unconfirmed reports or confirmed reports, this and that and shit. And, and I think a lot of it's just because, I mean, a lot, most of that type of stuff tends to just be used, for sensationalism. Instead of just kind of looking at the brass tacks of things, of like, what has led us, kind of like to that point. Why is it at this point? What, all has, kind of caused this shit, and what can realistically, at least, what is the best answer for this type of thing, in a realistic sense. And it's just like, I mean, and really, there isn't a strong, answer to it. It's obviously fucking complicated. I do think there's at least, a more immediate answer to it, which is, either two things. Like, either one, just Israel stops, or two, they, the international community just, flips script and says, you know what, we're not gonna just, like, green light this crazy shit that you're, doing as a retaliation or reaction to this. Like, I mean, probably, it's like you had your moment of, reaction, now you're done. It's like, stop. It's like pretty much just like one or the other. And I don't see Israel just being like, alright, we're done. I just don't see that happening anytime soon, so basically leaves, the international community at some point, well, realistically, the U.S. to be like, alright, you're done, stop it. And, like, actually force that fucking hand. Like I said, at least that's, for the more immediate sense. More like shorter to long-term answer. Fuck if I know. I just think there can at least be more of an immediate, like, stop that could happen, but that just ain't gonna happen. But outside of that, let's see what other little fun things are happening on today. What other little things? There really isn't much, and it disappoints me. Because it's just literally more about that same fucking topic. And I feel like there's even literally more now because of, like, I clicked on that one fucking video. And now I feel like there's even more. It's just like, come on. Because at a certain point, like, I've already said a lot of what I've had to say about it over, like, the past week. So it's like, what the fuck else do you say besides, like, well, yep, that's shitty. Guess I could look at, one of the weird little funny jubilees or something. Because I know there's a few of them that we can look at with that. But, let's see. Oh my fucking Christ alive. There really isn't much at all. Jeez, wow. I love it. I love how there's just like... just like... It really is the same, like, videos of the fucking same topic over and over again. It's like YouTube's fucking adamant about, like... You're like, hey, yeah, I had enough of this. You haven't had enough of this topic. It's like, oh my god, fuck me, dude. Why? Why, doggo? Why? You little pup. It's a little community post meme. There's no reason to tailgate me when I'm doing 50 and a 35, and those flashing lights on top of your car look ridiculous. Dude, I kind of want that. I like it. I dig it. I kind of like that shit. Well, this is an interesting one. Is this... Oh yeah, this is Jubilee. It's a few years old. I'm an incel, ask me anything. It's not a long one. I don't think I've seen it. I am intrigued, like, whoa. They actually got one to leave the basement? They got one of these dudes to leave the basement? Like, holy shit. Here, let's see. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm honestly curious. You know what? Like, I don't think I've seen this one.
What is your opinion towards women?
Like what I think of them?
Yes.
I do think they are very important, but...
Uh-oh. The butt came in. Oh, no.
Some topics are hard to approach.
More and more.
Yeah, okay. I just want to the juice.
Okay. Hey, I'm Brendio. I also go by Derek. I'm an incel, and I'm here to answer people's questions about the topic.
I can start. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So you're an incel.
Yes.
Why would you ever sign up to do this?
I suppose I would want to give more of a positive light on this community, which is a very negative light upon it.
Okay. And do you think that's a good thing?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because a lot of the boys in this community aren't bad people.
But you acknowledge that a good handful of them are, right?
Not a good handful, I would say a small handful.
Who?
Not a good handful, just a small, little tiny handful. I mean, I can't really say like it may, like an absolute. I really wouldn't know if it's like a majority or half or what. But man, there's a lot of them, at least online, that are just like, holy shit, bro. I mean, there's like insane toxicity, or something. It's like, what the fuck?
Hurt you, or what happened? What event sort of catalyzed?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Who hurt you, or what?
Who hurt you? Wow, well, hey, straight to the point.
What event sort of catalyzed this way of thinking and you getting into this kind of research?
Society.
Society. That was so Joker. Holy shit. That was very Joker-like.
Do you hate women?
And I like how we didn't really get much of an answer to that.
No.
Do you have a female role model in your life?
A female role model?
Yeah, like a mom or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom. I wouldn't necessarily consider her a role model, but I do love her quite a bit.
If a woman was elected...
I mean, I didn't really have much. I could think of like a few that I could consider like a role model, like Bessie Coleman, Elizabeth Gurley Flynn. Like, I mean, yeah, there's like honestly, like Rosa Parks is another example. Like, I could think of a few just like right off the top of my hand that I could consider like a role model, so to speak. Maybe not necessarily for me, at least. I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit. At least when it comes to like like when it comes to my advocacy, I suppose. When it comes to certain things like labor or social justice or whatever the fuck. But I don't know. I mean, I guess in a way.
As President of the United States, how would you react?
I don't know. It probably would depend on the woman. I probably wouldn't be supportive of it, honestly, but
Why do you say that, if you don't mind me asking?
I do think that men should be the leaders and women should be the character.
Oh my god. It's like, women ought to not be like the president and, like be in leadership roles. They need to be the housewife and barefoot and pregnant.
The loving, supporting, and the teachers in some cases.
Since women of color, or just women in general, have been oppressed by certain systems and other oppressed communities, especially LGBTQ+, all those don't really fit with the spectrum that incels or you have been talking about. So why do you think your method of thought would help fix what we have today?
Yeah, exactly.
I probably wouldn't view the things you might view as oppression as oppression. I have a feeling. I would view it more as how we treat children that we love. We control them, but we control them lovingly, not as a slave, not as we're forcing them to do things against their will. I would view it...
What? Like, I mean, control them, but in a loving way. Like, what in the fuck? Like, I mean, that kind of is a weird little, like, telling thing about his, like, mindset in a way. It's like, what? It's like, kids are property too. Like, I mean... Man, I feel like this kid just needs to touch some more grass, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because I've been kind of curious to what his, like, childhood upbringing is like. I mean, in the sense of, like, was he, like, growing up in a conservative household? Did he, like, get raised into thinking that, like, there was, like, some people that, like, kind of took him up the primrose path or whatever the fuck, Well, I guess in this case, the fucking sludge road path, but,
A loving domestic thing in the past. And I would say that if we were to do it in a civilized way, maybe in a more, even a Christian way, even though
God, religion. I feel like there was, okay, this kid grew up in a Christian household that was very restrictive and sheltering.
Advocating for a certain religion or ideology. I would assume that women would probably be happier. And I wouldn't just assume that blindly. I would assume that based on the data that I've seen.
What data have you seen that has brought you to this conclusion? Because I'm now curious where I can get this data from.
I couldn't reference it offhand, but I believe there was a study that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Okay. What do you think it is about
So, nothing.
liberal areas that create behavior in women that you think is a problem?
Promiscuity leads to increased standards in more primitive aspects such as looks. And that
primitive aspect, that was such a weird way of just saying that.
makes it harder for some people to find a relationship, including sometimes good-looking people. Like, there's guys who are much better looking than I am who are having a really hard time finding someone in a place like LA or in London or in Auckland, New Zealand, but they probably would have a perfectly fine time finding a woman somewhere else.
So you think that promiscuity is the problem, and if people were more monogamous and more withholding?
Considering that there is a lot of promiscuity when it comes to like this Bible Belt, for example, at least in the United States, because of a lot of the porn that those motherfuckers like to look up. I don't know about that one. Like, I'm pretty sure humans are just kind of promiscuous across the board, and a lot of them like to suppress it. And it leads to a lot of insecurities and problems, including this as well.
That would sort of fix society?
Yeah, I suppose people are more traditionalists.
There have been a few mass shootings.
Yeah, basically just be like, you know, a traditional conservative Christian type.
Past where these shooters actually stated that they were incels or radicalized by online incels. What do you think about their actions?
I condemn their actions. I don't believe I don't believe violence is the solution. I don't believe attacking random people is going to fix anything, whether they're, you know, women or men. I do think that the reason why they committed those actions was probably because of out of desperation or out of, you know, mental problems that probably could have been prevented had the right support was in their community, in their household. If people, you know, saw what they were posting and saw what they were experiencing in life and did something to help them.
Was there like, I mean, sure. Like having more robust mental health care system and being, you know, like more, you know, like active in a child's upbringing and their life and stuff. I mean, that's not really a bad thing. At least especially when it comes to a parent and the education system and, you know, and healthcare and stuff. I think that's good. You know, so I mean, okay. That's a fair, you know, I think that's fair. I mean, I feel like, you know, like I said, I feel like, you know, a lot of these, like, incel types tend to just be, like, misguided on a lot of bullshit, and they kind of let that fuel a lot of other things that they might view politically, in a sense, and they just kind of get, honestly, misguided, I think. And I think this kid is probably the way, you know, that way, too. I mean, considering that he was, you know, like, got a platform like this. I mean, I would hope that maybe, you know, that he's changed now at this point. It was 3 years ago, so maybe, you know, he's changed. I would hope. You know, but it's like, I mean, all things considered, it's like, I could kind of see, like, you know, honestly, there's definitely, you know, a dude there that isn't bad, but he just was misguided on bullshit where I think, you know, like, he just needs a genuine, like, challenge on his beliefs where, like, you know, in good merit, like, because I think, you know, in a way, maybe he kind of came out doing this, you know, to kind of maybe get that a little bit, you know, to kind of see, you know, like, if maybe he can, you know, have, you know, like, better opportunities just for not only for his own self, not really in, I guess, in a sense when it comes to, like, you know, relationships or whatever, but just in a sense of just, like, you know, of self-improvement, which, you know, in that way does indirectly help with these type of things as well.
Pivotal moment in your life, like a straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back?
You know, it's constant years of rejection, no matter who the person was, constant years of rejection in other aspects of my life. It did kind of push me towards more, I suppose, radical beliefs, but I suppose they're only like radical, but they're more just old beliefs, really.
No, it sounds like I had another like metaphor, like death by 1,000 cuts. You know, it's not like one pivotal moment, but it sounds like a bunch of things built up over time.
Yeah.
One of the common criticisms about the incel community is that you feel entitled to sex or intimacy. Do you believe that you deserve sex or intimacy from a woman?
I think everybody at some level deserves someone that loves them and, you know, respects them, as long as you are also loving and respectful towards that person. You know, they're an equal. You know, you're not like seeking someone beyond yourself. You know, you don't have like too high standards, I suppose. You know.
If you can tell the world about.
I mean, I think I get what he was trying to say, but he just said it in such a weird way, dude. I think it seems like, yeah, everyone obviously, you know, is. I think honestly, it's not deserve. It's more of entitled. It's like everyone can be entitled to have that, but the thing is, like, there is kind of a thing about, like, entitlement where it's like they aren't, like, you know, a guarantee in a sense, but also, like, you know, they can be taken away too. I mean, it's like, and even then, it's like not. I don't even know if that wouldn't even necessarily be the right word for it either. I mean, it's just more or less like, I mean, I would just say it needs to be just kind of more put broadly of just like, you know, obviously, you know, like people should, you know, feel loved, and, you know, people deserve to be, you know, kind of feel a sense of love and, like, you know, connection and stuff. I mean, you know, but that doesn't necessarily have to be like a sexual thing. I mean, you know, that could just be communal, just connection and stuff. Like, you know, I think in a sense, you know, like, you deserve to have, like, you know, some level of, like, sociability and connection and stuff like that. We shouldn't feel like, you know, we're, you know, like, just distant from each other and shit. So, I mean, I think I kind of get what he was trying to say, but he just kind of said it in such a weird way that it was kind of more confusing than anything.
Something about being incel that, you know, that may not be in the internet or that's overlooked heavily, what would it be?
I don't know. I think it's mostly that most of the men are not inherently bad people. A lot of them are just lonely. They just need some help, really.
Okay. Would you say that there's...
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, because the thing is, when it comes to, like, you know, online and, like, the Twitter space or, like, 4chan shit, like, that is a loud element of what, you know, could broadly be considered like, you know, what that community might be, whether it's like incel or like leftists or, you know, conservatives or whatever. Like, I mean, like, they're always amplified on, like, things like social media. So, I mean, you know, I'd argue that, you know, when it comes to, like, incels, I'm sure a good chunk of them are just, like, people who are, you know, in a sense, like, misguided, you know, and obviously only just need some help. You know, I think, you know, on a general gist, that's true, and I think, you know, fair to say. And honestly, I would say even for the ones that tend to be pretty lost to the point of, like, you know, being very fucking extreme, it's like, I mean, even, you know, they fall into that category too. It's just going to be a lot harder to convince them.
That other people can do to help guide or just support or...
You know, the lonely person in your class or the lonely person in your workplace, maybe he's an incel and he's not letting you know, and he's just kind of afraid to, he wants someone positive. Just be nice, say hi, try and make friends with him. You don't have to date him, you don't have to whatever, just, you know, brighten up someone lonely's day, I suppose.
Okay, noted. Thank you. You don't want to be an incel?
No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's part of the whole involuntarily thing. I mean, you know, you want to try and escape it. You want to be something better. You know, you want to get a wife, get a girlfriend, get someone who loves you, spend your life with them, and be happy. And
okay, well, that's, I think, kind of a part of the problem, though, bud. Like, I mean, if you want to be happy and stuff, maybe you're looking in the wrong place, so to speak. I mean, you could still yearn for that, you know, and, you know, see that as a part of your happiness, but maybe you need to kind of look elsewhere for right now, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, you know, look at other things that can make you happy, because in order to, like, make yourself feel more happy, more confident to lead up to something like that, I mean, you need to kind of, like, do other forms of improvement, wouldn't you think? Or at least that's what I would think. It's like, hey, you know, I kind of want, you know, this, like, long-term, you know, thing about, you know, a commitment and relationship and this and that, but, you know, hey, that's something I can't necessarily achieve, so let me try, you know, at least right now, so let me, you know, find other things that will make me more happy, you know, that can help not just improve my own, you know, sense of self, but also, and, you know, kind of, like, improve my general state of mind, and also, like, you know, maybe your own space when it comes to your own home, stuff like that. Like, there's, you know, different things that you can do to help, like, you know, get to that point. I mean, you know, sometimes it might take a while, sometimes it takes a long time. I mean, sometimes it, you know, it just takes a few different things to change, and oh, well, there you go. I mean, but everyone's different in this. For some people, like, I think it's just in the better interest to just kind of focus on themselves and deal with other shit, you know, than try to jump the gun, so to speak, you know, because that leads to more of an impulsive decision making when it comes to those type of things, and you end up having more of a bad outcome, more so than a healthy, prospering relationship.
One thing you wish people understood better about you?
I don't know. I guess I wish people would recognize how much effort I'm trying, I suppose. Like, you know, I'm working out typically daily. I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm out there job hunting actively. I don't think people recognize how much effort the incels in general try to...
Well, if that's the case for him, then, you know, good on him, man. I mean, I could tell that he looked like he used to be a lot fatter, but he's, you know, like, definitely looks like he's lost the weight. And if he, you know, if that's true, then fuck yeah. And this is from 3 years ago, so I just honestly hope he's continued to make those improvements. Because it seems like, you know, like, to me, what helps break people away from these type of, you know, ideas and stuff is, you know, trying to do that self-improvement, get themselves out there and be like, hey, you know, I'm doing what I can, you know, and I am at least trying to put in the work. And if he is doing that, and it seems like, you know, from what it looks like, I mean, you know, I'm able to believe it, you know, and it seems like he actually is trying to do what he can to kind of do some self-improvement and stuff, you know, like, and maybe, like I said, I think my assumption about him trying to kind of put himself out there like this, I mean, I think is kind of a part of that. Like, he's just trying to get himself out there, you know, just to socialize, to get out there with people, and, you know, and maybe that goal of having that girlfriend or that wife, you know, will eventually, you know, happen for him, you know, and, you know, at the end of the day, I hope that for him. You know, seems like he generally doesn't seem like a bad kid. Just, you know, misguided because he was, you know, fell into, like, some of the manosphere, like, incel stuff, and, you know, just kind of needs to help a little bit. Just kind of needs that little boost. It's kind of what it seems like so far. You know, at least, you know, what I kind of get from him. And honestly, I know plenty of dudes like this. You know, it's like, I mean, online and otherwise, where it's like, yeah, they just kind of, like, need the homie, so to speak, to kind of boost them up.
Bettering themselves. I would say people don't recognize their effort. They just assume that they're all like lazy and sad and angry at women and just giving up and things of that nature, I suppose. You don't have to see the bad things in the world and then come out a bad person. You can just see the bad things in the world and then improve upon yourself because of them, I suppose.
So you do have hope?
Yeah, I have hope, yeah. I'm a very hopeful person, I suppose.
I won't lie, this went a lot differently than I thought it would. I thought we'd be yelling at each other, you know?
It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
Hello, thanks for watching the video.
You know, honestly, I thought that was pretty good. You know, I mean, like, it does seem like he is, you know, trying to make the improvements. Does he have a... I know Jubilee will sometimes post the channels and stuff. Does he actually have one? It doesn't say anything in here. Did he make a comment? It doesn't look like it. Just a lot of comments that have like a fuckload of upvotes from years ago when it was first uploaded. Because I kind of wonder what he's doing now. You know, in a way, you know, because it was 3 years ago, it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, I wonder if he's, you know, continuing with those improvements and it's done better. They should kind of do that. Like, they should have, like, you know, like, where are they now of, like, some of the guests they have in Jubilee? It's like, hey, I used to be the Ask an Incel Anything one, and I was there, like, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, and here I am now. You know, what's different from, you know, then from now, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they should do that. Because they've done these, you know, like, for the last, like, what? Like, how long has Jubilee been a thing? Like, for quite a while, right? Like, they've been doing these things for a couple years. Been watching their shit off and on for a while, so, I mean... Like... Oh, yeah, their YouTube channel says 2010, so, okay, they've been around for way longer than I even knew about them. But, yeah, so, yeah, they should do that. Because honestly, I am kind of curious to see where, you know, that incel dude would be at right now. Also, I kind of like the Jubilees. They could be kind of interesting to, you know, delve in, you know, with some of the zeitgeist of people sometimes. Oh my lord, that is a lot. A lot of trash. Lord of mercy. That kind of reminds me, I need to get some out of my room later tonight too. Let's see what little fun things we check out. You know, little things going on for it too that isn't the topic that I don't even want to talk about anymore. And there really isn't. Ugh. Man. It annoys me when the algorithm just literally wants to incessantly just like push one fucking thing and like nothing else. Oh, you know what though? I haven't checked out the public freak out in a minute. There's probably some, you know, wacky weird ass shit going on over there. There's bound to be. That at least isn't ridiculous absurdity. Never mind. Okay. Apparently not. I can't even escape it here. Literally the first fucking thing. Ugh, aye. Aye, fucking aye. Well, let's just see. Nah. Okay, okay, yeah, oh wow. Okay, there apparently isn't anything over here either. Oh wait. A FedEx driver gets angry at a milk truck for blocking traffic? Oh shit. When two people got jobs, and one of them literally gets in the way of the other. Oh shit. Which side do you even take? Okay, well, holy shit, that is really annoyingly loud. Wait, hold on. I'll just move this over here and turn this, like, way the fuck down. Like, hella down. Like, holy shit. Okay, maybe not that down. What the fuck?
Very good, very good.
I mean, like, that's not gonna, like, make the truck leave any faster. It's like, I mean, now you have to wait for this dude to pick it up. Like, I mean, good job, you moron. I mean, now you have to pick all that up, and now you're still gonna sit there and wait like an idiot. Like, good grief. What a... Dude, what a dipshit. It's like, I mean, I can get being mad and impatient and being like, what the fuck, can you, like, you know, please hurry up or something, because, like, I got deliveries to make and this and that, and I'm on a time crunch and shit. Like, look, I can get that, but, like, I mean, bruh. Like, I mean, don't be knocking shit over, because now you're going to be sitting there way longer, and you're just going to get more pissed off because you're a dipshit. It's like, good lord, dude. It's a classic repost, but I've never seen it yet. The devil at McDonald's? The devil went down to McDonald's, he got himself Big Mac. Got himself an extra large fry, and maybe Pepsi too. So ladies, like, the power Christ dude, she literally, like, did this to the guy. Like, oh my god, I think I know who's the crazy one, and it ain't the old man. Because you're the devil. It's like, you're the devil, you're gonna be arrested, you're the devil. Like, what the fuck? It's like, okay, psycho lady. Well, she definitely a little cuckoo for the Big Mac. That, man, why is it always, like, you know, people that got, like, you know, some, like, you know, extra religiosity going on when they're going for, like, a crazy psycho episode like that? It's like, good lord. Why is there so many NSFW fucking, like, public freakouts? Like, I can't watch any of these without risking it for the biscuit. It's like, come on. It's gotta be a little more than the. Oh my good lord. And if it ain't like, you know, random shit at NSFW, it is fucking like shit going on in Israel's like, good Jesus fucking Christ. Wow, there really is not that much going on here. Are we serious? Like, there really is, like, man, there really isn't much going on the public freakout. Like, that is surprising. There's usually always, like, a bunch of different random little things. But, yeah, they're really, well, at least nothing that I can't exactly react to. Oh, shit. A hotel clerk went off after a guest, and Sleep In Diamond member called her a bitch. Oh shit. This is kind of a justified freak out. Completely psychotic hotel employee, what the fuck? Well, if you're calling her a bitch, then fuck you.
So, you are absolutely nobody. You're a piece of... You're scum. You're nothing. You can leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you on camera.
That's fine.
This
Get
is
out.
Sleep In.
That's fine.
Horn Lake. This is how they treat their diamond members.
Well, you called her a bitch. I mean, at least that's what it says here. So roll out the red carpet. Greg pulled up his Kia Stinger and he's looking to fuck. Okay. Oh my god. The first part, I was already like, okay, good. Alright, that's good. But then that last part, dude. Yes. Holy shit. I mean, dude, yeah, well, I was like, yep, this is how they treat them. Well, look how they treat us. They need all this bitch all treats with respect out there, she. Like, I mean, considering whatever probably led up to that, she probably isn't wrong. So, I mean, I'm not exactly really, like, against her on that one. Whatever. Man, why is there like 8,000 like NSFW posts before this like somebody that might have like something worth a shit, and even if I do, it's like literally like 10 seconds long. It's like, is there really any, there isn't anything that, you know, can be like, wait, what, public transit freak out? Oh shit. 2 drunk women assault officers in Mexico after being denied entry for a bus. Oh boy, this is gonna be absurd. Oh my god, they are sloshed. Dude, they are drunk. Dude, they are gone, son. Oh my god, she just like yeeted herself. She's gone, oh shit. You're in no shape to try to fight, red-haired lady. Like, oh my god, did you really try to sock him and now you're like falling on your ass again? Oh my god. Dude, they are like tumbling around like ragdolls. Holy shit, they're so slosh. Like, I mean, at least they're so drunk they're harmless, I think. They're trying to get back on. Alright, they need to spend the rest of the day in the drug tank and just like sleep it off. Like, I mean, oh my good lord. Oh shit, they, oh, wait, hold on, wait, what? Dude, I've never seen, like, people so drunk try to fight. I've seen drunk fights before, but oh my god, they are just so sloshed. She keeps falling, dude. Oh my god, like, if you keep falling, either just stay down or stop trying to fight. Like, it ain't working out for you. I love how the cops in Mexico are acting way better about this than American cops would. Like, American cops would have just, like, tased the fuck out of them and probably caused them to have, like, a heart seizure and one of them dies or something. Like, this would have turned out so much fucking differently if these were American cops. I'm just gonna put that right the fuck out there. Like, this guy's, like, literally has been punched in the face a bunch of times by these drunk ladies, and they're just... He's still, like, having the patience of an angel, dude. Like, holy shit. Does he finally get them or something? Does he finally detain them? I don't know. I can't.
You want them boots in my...
Those are my old ones. Honestly, I was thinking about probably just...
Well, I'd say I'll throw them out since I'm right there.
Yeah, if you want.
I don't want them
Well, I guess they did eventually detain them. I'd say, like, lose half of their shit on the ground. This guy's gotta be one of the more patient officers on this planet. One of the cops on the beginning says, CD, secretary, the story pay down on the promise. I'm not even hitting you, calm down. Lol. Did she seriously bite it? Wait, 110? Wait, hold on. Wait. What happens around there? Hold on. Wait, what happened? Like... Wait, was she trying to? I don't even know. This guy's absolute saint, biting his grass for a beat down. Oh, I know. Was there even an attempt? I mean, we're at the 110 frame. I don't, like, there's a lady on the ground and, like, another lady that's, I mean, I don't know. The grace of newborn giraffes. Guess those boots weren't made for walking. You can imagine the company who was dealing with this. The coroner would have to come. Yeah, pretty much. Dealing with some people frustrated. Yeah, and there's also plenty of videos where they deal with people like this and they do shoot them. So, I mean, conveniently, you can't really find a lot of those on YouTube unless they're censored. So, that also happens. Those boots, though. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to the... Okay, it's the redhead lady. Okay, I see what's going on. Okay. It's just like, hey, freaky lady with the boots. Oh, all right. Like, oh my good lord, dude. Good grief. Man, see, like, there's just a certain, like... I mean, it's... Like, I kind of see having fun, you know, out in the town, getting drunk and stuff, but, like, there's a certain level where you just gotta cut yourself off, man. I mean, like, come on, like, what the fuck? And, yeah, there really is not, like, much else on, going on, like, ugh. The best of memes, but it's also on public freakout. Unexpected freakout. It's 10 seconds, but fuck it, you know, might as well. A little 10-second burst. Let's see. Oh shit! Just fucking fell. Lonk. Just fell right into a pool. Oh no. Oops. Okay. Oh, okay. That actually was pretty funny. That was good. That was funny. Just kind of doing her thing, like, oh yeah, I'm posing. What's up? Oh shit! So just like falls. All right, that's good. I like it. That was some good shit. And Police body cam. A woman demands to be unarrested. Demands to be unarrested. I think if you're being arrested, you're not going to be unarrested anytime soon.
Make this harder than it has to be.
Stop.
Stop.
Why are you doing this to me?
Stand up.
Ow! Stop! Help!
Okay, hold on. So, what did she do? Oh, there's a full video of this? So, wait, what's going on? I don't think she knows what citizen arrest means. The woman didn't need to be arrested as much as have a social worker de-escalate the whole situation. She won't find the help she needs in the legal system. So that's probably what's kind of like the whole situation with that.
Help! Stop it! Leave me alone!
Here, I'll just turn it down a little bit.
Help! 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 Ow!
Stop resisting.
Ow! No, you...
Hey, stop.
Did she just try to do a roundhouse kick? Like, wait, did she just, wait, what the fuck was that? Holy shit. Dude, she did like a crazy splits roundhouse kick maneuver. I mean, that's actually kind of impressive. I mean, like, if anything, I mean, if the full video shows that, you know, like, realistically, she probably needs a social worker and shit. I mean, especially considering the obvious situation.
Help! Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest! I'm not a criminal! And I know the police officers and I grew up here! Somebody help me!
Sam 165.
No! You're not even talking to the dispatcher! Leave me alone!
Are you gonna be nice?
I didn't do nothing wrong, let me go! No, I'm not under arrest! I have...
You're not under arrest. Well, you kind of are at this point. I mean, it's kind of curious about the full video, but in a way I'm not. The cops hate this one trick. I'm actually not under arrest. Put out, there's an APB put out about her. Said, where's Waldo? Excuse me, sir, ma'am. Or they, them. But Waldo has been matched in fancy hat. And this is... what? Okay, whatever. The one cop was Common Field. Was there? I wouldn't be surprised, to be frank. Cops tend to be kind of weird like that. And to be arrested, if their opinion there's something wrong, that means they cannot and should not be arrested. Do they think they're criminal? There's... I mean... I mean, it seems like Reddit's just like all over the place about it, whatever. I was thinking if maybe there would be a little more extra context about having to like watch the full... Well, I guess there might be like, you know, comments on the actual full video of it. What's the full video? If it wants to pull it up. Pull it up if you want to. Oh, there it goes. Well, that's not exactly the YouTube app. That's a link to this stupid shit that it's, well, okay, whatever.
Grill regarding a female refusing to leave in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Staff advised the female, soon recognized as a 56-year-old named Rhonda, was acting erratic and harassing other customers. The officer... Okay,
I love how it's not even possible. Or giving me to the, like, you know, just regular YouTube app itself. It's just being beyond dumb instead about it. That's all. That's always awesome. Well, even like give me the fucking like watch history if it pops up. Does it? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, that works. So let's comments on her. She doesn't need jail. She needs a mental hospital. There needs to be far more mental health facilities for people like this. They're just not getting the care they need. Yeah. So basically, you know, a lot of it is essentially just like, you know, mostly things like mental health, you know, awareness and shit. Which, yeah. Which means that, you know, people like fucking cops should not be having to deal with people like that. It's clearly suffering from schizophrenia, but her family, if she has one, has long since given up with trying to keep her on her, man, it's a sad situation for her. All bodies to handle her about as well as they possibly could again, circumstances. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Whatever. The full video is like 20 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch like 20 minutes just to, you know, get a general gist summary of it already. But doesn't really seem like there's much. Wait, hold on. I just see top news. Biden visits Israel as ground war looms. Oh, well, that's just fucking absurd. I mean, why? I guess whatever. I'll probably hear about that on Nuggets tomorrow or some shit. Ugh. But I think I'll at least, get one more boatload up, and call it good for the evening. Because, news is slower than shit. And even the memes be running dry. So it's like, meh. Meh. That's what I say. There we go. Sweet. Anyway, I got good for the rest of the lovely evening. So, peace out, of course. See you all that next one. So, toodaloo.